What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is. It's the first of many college football videos that come out today. It is my 2013 college football preview. That's right. Soak it in. 125 Division I teams are going to get it kicking and into full gear this weekend. So who's going to come out on top? Who's going to be a pretender? Who's going to be contenders? I'm going to name 5 contenders right now. My top 5 contenders for this year's championship. And why? Number 1, obviously, Alabama. If you watch college football, I shouldn't have to just explain this one to you. This should be a no-brainer. It should be on everyone's list. They have A.J. McCarron back. T.J. Yeldon back. They lost a lot of offensive linemen, but doesn't Nick Saban always have good offensive linemen? They lost a lot of defensive players, but doesn't Nick Saban always have the good defensive players? It's a wrap, pretty much, to me, that Alabama wins the SEC again. I don't see how they can't. I don't see how they will lose. They're just so talented, deep, and have the best coach in the nation by far. Next up, I'm not sure if this phone is slipping. Hold on. I think it's fine. Next up, it's not in any particular order, by the way. Oregon is a contender. Oregon, every year they make that one mistake and then they don't make it because the Pac-12 is not strong enough. Well, those days are over. The Pac-12, I would say, is the second strongest conference behind the SEC, of course, right now in college football. And an 11-1 Pac-12 team that ends up winning the Pac-12 championship game and goes 12-1, which is very realistic for Oregon, would have no problem getting love from the BCS and the championship game. So I think Oregon's definitely a contender. How can you not say they're a contender? They have Marcus Mariota, a quarterback. Now he's a sophomore. You got DeAnthony Thomas back. I know you lose Michael James and Colt Lyerla and what's the linebacker's name? Kiko Alonso. All guys that are now in the NFL. But you still bring back a deep team. I'm not sure about their coach, Markel Frick. I'm really not sure much about him. But I'm not in no doubt that Oregon will come out with the high-powered offense that will lead them to win after win. My third contender, Ohio State. Ohio State was the second best team in the country behind Alabama last year and should have been playing the championship game instead of Notre Dame. The only problem was they were on sanctions and they couldn't. They went 12-0 last year, and because they were on sanctions, a lot of people forget about that. This is a deep team. Urban Meyer is a great coach, knows what to do with good talent. Again, another team, see my trend? Quarterback returns. Braxton Miller is back, and I know they have their star running back Carlos Hyde out for the first 3 games with suspension, but I still think this offense will be productive, and how can an Urban Meyer defense not be productive? I mean, of course it will be productive. Urban Meyer is another great coach, and Ohio State, I think they're ranked number 2 in the preseason. They have to be in the books as contenders. Next up for my contender list, Georgia. And guess what? The theme continues. They have Aaron Murray back at quarterback, and the thing is that people say he can't win a big game, and he really hasn't. But I think this might be the year that he proves he can do it. Maybe they win the SEC. Who knows? Georgia's really talented. Another team will bring in back a freshman stud from last year who's now a sophomore at running back, Todd Gurley. And I think Georgia will definitely be in the mix. And for my 5th and final team, I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here. Just a little bit of a limb. And say Stanford. Again, you like to go with the teams from the big conferences. Pac-12 is second in my conference rankings. And Stanford, I think, every year, similar to Oregon, every year a couple things trip them up. I think this year they're building, David Shaw's building a good program there. Who knows what they can do with the talent that they bring in. They're always kind of, under the radar until the season starts. And I think, they have a chance to go 11-1. 10-2, make the Pac-12 championship game, and see if they can maybe finish the season with 12 wins and 1 loss, and see if they're up for championship bid. So, some top storylines, of course. Johnny Manziel will play this season. He just is going to miss the first half of the game against Rice. Oh, wow, that's terrible. Due to the autograph thing. It was just announced today. Other big headlines. All the big teams have their quarterbacks back. I mean, that's something that's exciting. You know, you always want to see how much a quarterback can improve or not be the same. 5 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to finish this video out right now. I mean, I've done pretty much all the talking. I'm just going to say my prediction for the championship game, my prediction for who wins it, my prediction for the the 5 Heisman finalists, and my prediction for who wins it. So, the championship game will finally be played between number 1 and number 2 team in the preseason poll. I believe it. Alabama and Ohio State will meet in the championship game. That's what I think will happen. And for the winner, three-peat. I think Alabama three-peats. They're just an unstoppable dynasty, and I think they beat Ohio State in a good game, better than Notre Dame, but still an Alabama win. For the Heisman finalists, the top 5, I'm going to go ahead and put Jadeveon Clowney in there. I'm tentative to put Johnny Manziel, but I will. Lachey or Lake, it's actually pronounced Lake. Lake Seastrunk from Baylor. I think he'll have a big year. Aaron Murray from Georgia. And Marcus Mariota from Oregon. And my predicted winner, Aaron Murray. I think the Bulldogs are going to have a huge year. I think Murray finally puts it together. And as long as they get into a BCS bowl game and they have a good year as a team, keep the losses down, I think Aaron Murray is definitely a good candidate to win the Heisman this year. So that's pretty much my video. That's a college football preview. Still today, you will see a college football preview for week 1 of the season and also a more in-depth preview of the 12 Pac-12 teams. That's it, folks.